that we would never put out anything that people don't want. You know, I mean, you'd be an idiot to put out merchandise that nobody buys. Right. So my problem is never with the merchandise. I just don't think that you have to stand on a soapbox and tell everybody, you know, all about it. You know,
right.
There's, you know, I would just prefer everything be out there and people will buy it and we're not waving our hands going, look what we're selling.
Gotcha.
How was it doing Phantom of the Opera?
It was very cool. You know, it was another... you know, anytime I can do something that kind of pushes the envelope is very cool. So to do 8 shows a week in a legit, you know, show, and I think it'd run 10 years in Toronto, and I did the last 6 months. 8 shows a week, standing ovations every show.
That's great. A lot of work, huh?
Yeah, hard, man. You know, I mean, it brought a whole different sensibility to, you know, bands coming in and saying, my finger hurts or I hurt my toe.
Yeah.
You know, these people go out there and kill it every night, you know, 8 times a week.
We are getting, the music is starting, which we haven't on a computer because we're on a 3-hour time, and then the next show comes in and we do the walkover for XM. So I think Paul is doing the walkover with us.
Yeah, I'm hearing there's a nice crowd
CDs.
Outside. So.
And it's called Live to Win. It's your first solo album in 28 years. I mean, it's real easy as a fan to say I love the CD, but I did love the CD. I mean, you know, it's comfortable to say that. I probably would have lied anyway because I love Paul Stanley, but I do. It's a great CD.
Well, we'll play Live to Win over at XM too when we get over there. We'll play the whole song
for
you,
really
Paul.
Happy, man. Your voice is held up great. It just kicks ass.
Yeah, the CD's Live to Win. The first single's Live to Win.
What's that?
What does Helen think?
Helen loved it very much. Her and Jimmy Robinson, who was kind of like Jimmy Norton but in a cape, and Helen, me and Jimmy Robinson hated Jimmy Norton. I don't know what happened, but there's some older gentleman with a story to tell. I'm sure.
It's true too. He's been telling this story for many, many years. Also, are you guys are doing a signing, or you're doing a signing, Paul?
Yeah, actually, Gene will hook up with me tomorrow, and we'll be signing Kissology DVDs and Kiss perfume, and we'll be in the parade tomorrow.
It's Virgin in Times Square, right?
Yeah.
For the signing.
Kissology. We were just talking before you came in. Is it all this old 6 hours of old footage and live?
Yeah, vintage concerts from San Francisco, Houston, Detroit. Us rehearsing without makeup in the early days, us playing a club in the early days.
That's cool.
Very cool stuff.
That's great. Better than buying a bootleg because the quality is there,
yeah,
the whole show is there.
This is first generation stuff.
All right, they're going to cut us off. Paul Stanley, thank you. He's doing the walkover to XM with us. If you're not joining us at XM, have yourself a great day.
Joining the Opie and Anthony XM walkover today, Paul Stanley from the legendary rock band Kiss, handing out copies of his new CD, Live to Win. The Opie and Anthony XM walkover begins now.
We walk together. We should get in a group, so it's like we got so security can take care of everything.
Wow, we got a crowd outside today, thanks to Paul Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it for Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey! I feel like I'm running for office.
Yeah, we don't get this reaction when we're alone. It's usually just two fat guys.
of course not. The same, too. Every time.
All right, so do we have CDs to hand out, too?
Yeah. We're doing Christmas early. Is that what we're doing?
Signed copies of the new CD.
Live to Win.
Live to Win. Thank you.
In stores now.
Did it actually come out today, or is it?
It came out about a week ago. So I'm telling people don't download it. It's against the law, and I'm also trying to make next month's rent.
Yeah, that sucks. Do you let your shit be put on iTunes, or do you purposely keep it off?
No, iTunes is cool because you get a royalty. But the whole idea of people talking about sharing files, that's like me saying I'm going to share your car. I mean, I don't.
Oh, right, Jimmy wouldn't mind that at all.
Well, yeah, if you don't mind being in a fucking Saturn with prostitute stuff in it.
And Helen, let's not forget Helen.
And Helen.
So did Helen ever disappear? Or is she
I
still
can't
around?
believe I'm discussing Helen with Paul Stanley. This is very therapeutic. I don't know, because what happened was it was like Helen and I would be there, and then Jimmy Robinson was me, but it was just me in a cape, and we would kind of all agree that we hated Jimmy Norton.
Who was him?
Which was me.
You're talking to now, yeah.
But I don't know where Helen came from. She was a middle-aged woman. Her hair was kind of frosted, and I would just talk to her and kind of discuss things with her. And
did you ever meet Sybil? Did you know Sybil?
No, but I kind of relate to the personality disorder, although I think hers was actually just genetic, and mine was like induced by probably an older person.
Sybil to you must have been like a Disney film.
This could be the day that Jimmy admits a lot of things on the show.
No, I don't have anything bad to admit. It was just these odd little things that would go through my head when I was a youngster, and a lot of them revolved around, whether it was Helen or Kiss.
But it got you here, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
although I don't know where here is. I mean,
yeah, somehow.
Field,
See, it did, yeah.
You know, actually, I used to drive a cab, and I would pick people up around here.
Are you shitting me?
No, I was a yellow cab driver.
Jesus. Come on. So you don't have the inbred hatred for them that most people do? You can have empathy?
No, I can understand it. The trouble with cab drivers is because, you're in a cab and you're looking through a window, you think it's a video game, so you don't realize that you can get killed and go right through the video game.
Yeah.
You know,
I hate the cabbie stuff.
I'm very powerful driving a cab. I was a cab driver.
Is there any part about being? I mean, obviously wherever you go, I mean, people know where you are, which is who you are. It's got to be an advantage at times. What's the worst part about being, all right, famous like Paul Stanley?
There's nothing bad about it. It's like winning the lottery and complaining about taxes. You know, my life's awesome.
You didn't get mad at all those girls who only wanted to blow you because of your name?
No. No, I thanked them. It made it much easier.
Dude, that's my inspiration for even being, and I like the fact that you and Gene were honest about that in Kiss Exposed. It's about girls.
Yeah, what difference does it make why somebody wants to be with you as long as everybody walks away smiling?
So you have, I know that you had a son recently.
I had a 7-week-old son now.
And
I've got a 12-year-old son, and I've got a outrageously beautiful and great wife.
Are they musical at all, your kids? Or your oldest one?
Yeah, my son plays, he plays Jimmy Page stuff, and he plays, he's a great guitar player. He plays better than I ever did at his age. And my son wails just like I do.
Was there anybody you played with like that you looked at and went, wow, I can't believe I'm actually performing with this person or playing with this person, like as your career, like from the 71 Wicked Lester days on?
I haven't really played with that many people outside of the band. I mean, it was cool having Joe Perry get up with us and do Strutter, and that was a lot of fun. But, for the most part, it's really just been Kiss and not much else.
Who lasted the least amount of time having you guys open for them in the old days? Because nobody wanted to go on after you guys.
Usually what would happen in the early days is we get thrown off the bill.
Right.
So Black Oak, Arkansas, which was like a big band at one point, we lasted one show, and I think we set their curtains on fire, and we were asked not to come back. And then not too long after that, our agent and our record company president said to us, what you need to do is you have to suck. You have to play less and play worse because you can't get any gigs.
Because of the volume of this. And did they ever ask you to take the stage show down or not do what you were doing?
Absolutely. And we said, get stuffed. You either take us the way we are or we don't want to play.
We interviewed Joe Perry, and that's when I saw you guys recently at the Garden a couple years ago, and I got that photo. Why would Aerosmith voluntarily go on after you guys?
Well, because, I love those guys, but they insisted that they close the show, and for me it was like, well, you got to go on before or after us, so you pick. We're splitting everything, and if you want to go on last, God bless you.
Wasn't there something where you couldn't go out as far into the audience? They had like little restrictions on you guys, like what you could and couldn't do?
Well, Steven had a ramp that he wanted just for him, but none of that stuff matters.
Right.
You can't stop us. I'll knock you out with one hand tied behind my back.
Well, I watched the show. I watched a little of Aerosmith, and granted, I'm very biased, but it was like, what the fuck were they thinking to want to follow this show? It's just ridiculous. It's like going on after fucking, just why would you?
Never pray for things or wish for things because you might get them.
And I have to ask this stupid.
And I love those guys.
What is there any bad blood between Peter? We didn't talk about Peter at all. I mean, we just mentioned Ace. Is there any possibility of him coming back, or is there bad blood there?
I think Peter is probably happy doing what he's doing, and I really, truly wish him the best because I wouldn't be here without him, but doesn't mean I want to be with him today.
All right, so you guys sometimes will develop personality things that you look at and you go, this is probably not going to get fixed.
This is just not workable, so why don't we just both look back on the memories and have a great time and, not spoil it by, slugging each other today.
How cool is it to want to do something and like years ago you bounced off Gene or Peter or Ace, and now you can just go, if someone disagrees with you can just go fuck off, get out of the band if you don't like it.
That's pretty cool. I mean, democracy only goes so far because what it winds up having is a bunch of stalemates, and sometimes you wind up, the person who vetoes something gets his way. So at this point it's like everybody's in the same car but somebody's got to drive.
So the CD is Live to Win, and the Kissology comes out. Is that out today?
Kissology is out in the next day. I think it's out today or tomorrow. So that's 6 hours, and it's all vintage concert footage and us rehearsing without makeup and us playing clubs, and it's just the first volume, and it's 6 hours of awesome stuff from our archives.
And what time are you and Gene doing a signing? Because there's gonna be a fucking a madhouse
line. That's a good question. I have no idea, but
what signing is what time?
Around 11.
11 tonight?
No.
It's, no. 11 tomorrow night, and it's where?
At the Virgin
on Times Square. All right, so this is going to be a fucking long line for that. If we didn't have this stupid thing to do, I'd probably just leave there and go there myself.